Hi guys, welcome to the next video. Now before we go into any of these videos or any tutorials or reviews that I do, please do take a look at the Where I've Been video because it explains so much. It explains where I've been, what's been happening, because today we can just jump into some things that it's all drugstore, nothing is over £10 today, and it's just to get ready with me. Some things are new to me too, but nothing specifically is over £10. So please do, before any of these reviews come along, take a look at Where I've Been video. It explains so much. I am back every single week. There's going to be tutorials. So much has happened. So please do pause this and then do take a look at the other video. So let's go in. Now I think an underrated brand is Wet n Wild, and I have been so into E.L.F and so into, you know, Makeup Revolution, and they're really good that I never really gave Wet n Wild, kind of bar that Luminous foundation that I did with the giveaway, and I will link the review below, ever really looked into anything else. So I was looking at something like a tinted maybe BB cream, and this came up on Amazon as something to possibly look at, and it's the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, and it says it is lightweight, non-greasy finish, sheer to medium. So we'll see if we don't actually need to wear a foundation, because sheer to medium coverage is quite good, and that's what it claims. And what else does it say? It's paraben free and delivers hydrating benefits in a buildable sheer to medium, flawless, softly luminous complexion. There is hyaluronic acid and plant-based squalene, so we'll see how that goes. The other thing I wanted, because I haven't had a really kind of new primer in a long time, there's the Putty primer from E.L.F, which is absolutely amazing. This is so good, darling. This is the Luminous Wet n Wild Photo Focus, and I will put the price up for you here, and I will link them all below. So it's like a just like the Max Factor pan sticks. It has that kind of look to it, but what I really liked about it is that it's an extra top on it, because I sometimes, when I'm using the Max Factor pan sticks or anything that has a pan stick, sometimes it can get really messy, and having this is amazing. So this is the Luminous. It comes in all different variations, but this is the Photo Focus Base Luminous primer stick. There really isn't a scent to it, but it's twist up. It looks like foundation itself, but we're going to see what it's like. So we will be doing wear tests in another video this week as well. So I'm just going to pop it on, and I did want to show you before we do that. So this is basically budget friendly. So everything I link below, if you're looking for a starter kit, whether it's freelance or just for yourself, everything here is going to be under £10. Now I found really good brush set. So this was, and I will link it up below, from Amazon, and you get a little nice kind of travel friendly bag, and if I open it, you actually get protected is 2 of these blenders, but I always don't worry if they look really small. The minute you would put water on them, they do increase in size, but this one is great for like under eye, things like that. And then you get, they're all covered, you get all the brushes like this, so you get a variation of brushes there. Really nice design. But what I really liked about it was the fact that you got this bag, and it's like really good really good kind of quality. So I think it was like £8, so I will link that below too. But I liked the fact that you got some beauty blenders in there too, and it has like a little protective covering, and they all actually, the brushes have protective coverings too, so that's quite good. So I will link that below, and my brushes do need to be washed, so this will probably be used quite soon. So if I just pop that there, so we're going to put on that Luminous Photo. So it's the Photo Focus Base, so let's just get that up, and it does have like a gold tinge to it. Let's just do a swatch, warm it up on the hand. There doesn't really seem, okay, so not really, there is a little bit of shimmer coming off it, but I don't think that's coming up. If we have a look here, so let's just put that where we would usually, yeah. And when you put it on the face, I was wondering if it would come off like it's, my skincare is obviously already done. Okay, so it's not coming off directly looking like anything. I'm actually going to just rub this in with my hands. Okay, so I'm not seeing like a heavy base or anything. Okay. Okay, so I'm not really seeing, I don't know if it's coming off on camera, I'm not seeing in the mirror anything drastically different. I'm just putting it in places where, you know, it does. Okay. We'll see what it might look like underneath. It might kind of develop over time. So, okay. So that's that. No scent at all. It is soft. It's not drying. I've never really used a primer that you have in a pan stick either, so it might be just that I'm not used to it. But this is Do Me a Favour, and it's the base luminous. They did have a hydrating one too, so, and that was the blue one. So look on Amazon, they're all there. I will link them below too. But Wet n Wild are certainly underrated at the minute. I'm just really enjoying them. So this is the one that we will blend in with a brush. And this is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. It did look smaller when I got it actually. I don't know why. It just looked bigger when I was looking on Amazon. So it's lightweight, non-greasy, sheer to medium. So let's have a look. And mine is in light. So there was light to fair, medium to dark, and then dark. So I will then put up this on the screen, the various shades. It would have been nice to see one darker and maybe one in between light to medium, just to give that kind of options for different, you know, for women's skin types. But I mean, there is a really, really good, I think there's a really, really good variation there. So we're just gonna put a little bit, hopefully we don't need too much. Here we go. Okay, so it does come out quite quickly. I didn't really put too much pressure on that at all, so you can see it's still okay. So let's just dab it where we usually would, and I think it's kind of, I'm finding that it's hard to kind of, I'm finding it hard to color match these days. I don't know why. It's just maybe my skin is different, or it's kind of changing. So there is kind of a clinical smell, but that's fine. It's really soft and water. You can see it's water-based. So what I'm going to do is just pop this here. I'll have to clean that up in a minute. Let's get my foundation. This is the Real Techniques, and this is my buffing brush, but I really like it. It's great for foundation. So I'm just going to use my hydrating mist to wet the, and we're just going to do a quick, see how that blends in. Wow, it is really, really nice. So there is a separate video with a wear test that we're doing today, so that will be up too. So again, everything under £10 here, guys. Yeah, I am finding it hard. I don't know about you, but sometimes, maybe it's the seasons changing, I find it really hard to colour match my skin, especially online. Okay, so blends in really, really well. Okay, let's just blend that out. Okay, so that blended in quite nice. It looks like skin. It actually just looks like skin. It's really, really soft. I wanted hydrating because when I was younger, I had such oily skin, and then it kind of went from like patchy and then dry. It's really dry. I got some on my lips, but that's okay. Okay, so let's have a look. So do I think that could be used as a foundation? Yes, I do. So far, we'll see what the wear test is like, but I am going to go in with the concealer. That needs to be cleaned up, so just be aware if you get it, a lot comes out in that. So let's go in, and this is something I've used and I repurchase a lot, and again, it's under £10. It's the E.L.F. Concealer, Camo Concealer. I get the hydrating. I used to just get the normal one, but then over time it particularly just got dry under my eyes, and so I've been using the hydrate one. I found this month that it was cheaper on Amazon than it was on E.L.F. E.L.F. are really, really good, and I am using some of their products. And when I was younger, it was my go-to kind of brand, as well as Rimmel, but that was my go-to brand. And over time, I think it is getting a little bit more expensive. So some of them are great. You can get those the little quads, they're lovely. But yeah, it is kind of getting a little bit more expensive than it used to, but their skincare is amazing too. So I'm just going to go in, and mine is in Fair Camo Concealer Corrector Hydrating. So let's go in with that. And it comes with a little doe four as well, so not, you know, you can control the amount that goes out. So let's just pop it here. And I like the fact that I didn't have to go back in again. So that was really good. So yeah. I don't know about you guys too, but with food, when the seasons change, I tend to want like hotter food. So today I'm doing fajitas. I just wanted something hot today. It's cold weather today, so I don't know why. I just wanted fajita, so that's happening tonight. We're doing that. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my blender brush. We can actually go in because I find this really, really good. I warm it up with my fingers just for that kind of placement, and then I go back in with this brush. So I don't actually have to go in with a smaller brush, which I really, really like, or a sponge, which saves a lot of time as well. So I'm just going to redo the spray, and we're going to go back in. And I'm literally dabbing that. I'm not dragging it, just dabbing, which then just kind of blends it right into the skin. So yes. Other things that are happening this year, which I probably mentioned in my where I've been, is my driving test is in June, so that's going to be something that's going to give me so much freedom. So as you can see, I've completely moved. That's all going to be, you can see the background, everything's changed. So yes, I had a friend ask me the other day, Sophie, can you actually get your driving license in Ireland because you're from Ireland and then come back? And I don't think I can, because the waiting list was so long. But I was really lucky, and I know June is a long time away, but I'd rather stay here for that. I'm not actually sure if you could go back to it in Ireland and come back. I'm not quite sure, but I think that was just because I was so impatient. So yeah, so that's it. You can see it just kind of illuminates kind of where I need it. And I think because they're both hydrating, it's the E.L.F and the Wet n Wild are hydrating. This is tinted hydrating. It says lightweight, non-greasy finish, sheer to medium. So we will see if it certainly see the sheerness, but we will see over the day if it stays, and medium coverage and things like that. Right away now, I can see that it sort of is medium coverage. I can see that. So just for brows, I have run out of everything for brows. So I had to go into my QC Makeup Academy, and when you do a course with them, you do get like a whole kit as well. And this is my eyebrow palette, so we're going to go into that. And it's powder based, so that's what that looks like. And I'm going to go in with this one here, so I'm just going to swatch that for you. So yes, it's kind of like a deep brown. So we're just going to go in with that. And I'm actually going to use one of my new brushes for that. So we're going to go in with that. And what I miss is the brush. I used to have an E.L.F duo, and there was a brush on the other end. So this is a really, really kind of stiff brush here, and it's really good for just placement and things like that. So we're going to go in with that brown very lightly, and I'm just gonna follow the line, follow the brow, and you can see a little goes a long way with that, if you can see. So when you have your setting gel, which I've also run out of, but next to a really nice setting gel, which I will link below the price. Again, nothing here is over £10 today, because I really think there is nice high end, but you know, the drugstores are doing such a good job these days of bringing out really, really good quality dupes. So definitely, guys, if you can save money, definitely go for it. So that's that. You can see that wasn't a lot. And it's funny, when I was younger, I had such thick brows, and it just over time. So I'm happy with that. Okay. You can see I didn't actually have to go in again. That amount actually did both brows. So let's, okay. So yeah, so you get 4. Obviously there's a really, really deep one, which I've never had to use. I've had to use it once, but it was in a freelance makeup artistry job. So I have never personally used that, but it was for a lady who had darker skin and obviously darker hair, everything like that. But I've only ever needed to go into these 2. But this one, I only used once, and you do get a mirror with this too. I would highly recommend QC Makeup Academy. They do really good workshops. They do the beginner makeup artistry. They do theatre. They do really good stuff. So I do have reviews. If you have a look at my channel, and I might be able to kind of link them below. I do have reviews of when I did my course with them. You don't have to do a course either if you're going into makeup artistry, but I found it really interesting because you got DVDs. You just got a lot of really good information. So there was also like a business section where they went into like, you know, having your own business cards, going up on social media, trying, you know, working on family and friends, asking them if you can take a photo and put it up in like a, you know, your own page, stuff like that. So they've really good advice. But that's not to say you can't kind of, when I first started out, I looked at Beat Face Honey, Tatiana Ward, and so before any of that, that's who I was looking at, you know, the whole time, and I found her really informative. So you definitely don't have to do a course, but I just found it really interesting. So yes, so let's move on. So before I do the eyes, I want to go in with some bronzer and some blush. I'm going to start first with just setting the under eyes. This is $2.99 and this is Collections pressed powder. Again, I'm really looking at and focusing on kind of budget friendly quality makeup. So Collection are really good, and they are on Amazon. So this is the Set and Finish Smooth Matte Finish Powder with Vitamin E, and mine is in Candlelight. So they do have a luminous one, just translucent, sorry, and this is Candlelight here. So what I'm going to go in with is a small powder brush here, and this is my E.L.F highlight, but I also use it as, I've just washed it, so I also use it as kind of under the eyes, things like that. So we're just going to get a little bit, and a little bit goes a long way, and I'm just going to set places like the T-zone and under the eyes, the nose. I don't want it to be super dry, but I do want to get the areas where okay. And I sometimes find it easier. Loose powder is really good, but sometimes this is just really handy, especially for travel and things like that. So just gonna go under. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go in with, I've got two E.L.F products. So I've got their E.L.F Putty Bronzer, and then I've had this for a while. I think there's a new version of this. This is when it had kind of the little sections where you could take out, but I didn't really understand that because you could never really replace them individually. But I mean, maybe they just meant if you wanted to take it out and put it into your own or something like that. So this is the highlight and contour, and I'm actually going to double up. So I'm going to use my, first of all, I'm going to go in with the Putty Bronzer, and I'm going to use my, this is another, this is my, it is a foundation brush, but it's from Laura Geller, and it's got that kind of consistency where you can put it up. So what I do is I actually go in like that, and this is in, is this got a, this doesn't have a shade name on it, but that's what it looks like. This is the bronzer. So I started kind of over here, and what I didn't do quickly is wet the brush. I always wet every makeup brush, so we're just gonna do that. Okay, again, we're gonna go in, this is my own, I don't use this one on other people, and you can just see there, it's kind of a barely there look, and that's why I always double up with the contour powder from E.L.F. So what we're going to do now is actually going to go into my finger and then blend it in. You can see you're getting a little bit more like that, and then I'm going to go cheekbone, I think if I was to repurchase it, I'd go one shade deeper. Okay, and then just connect it all around. So I'm going to go in again with my, so you can see it's just about giving you that sun-kissed look, but I would like to go a bit deeper. I don't want to stay this light. Let me know what bronzers you like. Is there anything that you couldn't be without? I find E.L.F very reliable, but I would love to go back into Wet n Wild and kind of rediscover them. They're definitely a rediscover for me. I'm liking the Hydrating Tinted. It feels lovely, it feels really soft, so it'll be interesting to see the wear test on that. That's tomorrow. So these are all first impressions, so tomorrow there'll be the wear test. So now I'm just going to go back in, and I'm going to go in with the E.L.F contour palette, and you do get 4, so you do get your highlights there, and I generally use this one here. Again, there is a brand new one, and it looks exactly the same, but it just doesn't have the it doesn't have these removable squares. So I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques, and this is my Real Techniques contour brush, obviously. So we're going to go in, and that's what that looks like on the brush. And a lot comes out in this, a lot comes out, you can see there. So just be aware. So I'm just gonna, and you can see straight away what you get with that. So just bring that over right up to the hairline. Okay, that's really where I was going with that. My kind of idea of that was. And that's kind of where I wanted to go with that, which is perfect. And then just bringing all of that back to the hairline. Okay, so that's really, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. So we've doubled up as well. So we've used our putty bronzer, and we've kind of doubled that up with the powder as well. So the other thing I want to look at is the quads. They don't do these anymore, and I don't know why. This is E.L.F again, and they don't do the quads in the eyeshadows, and I haven't been able to find the quads in the highlighter and blushes for some reason. I don't know if it's just a temporary thing they're doing, I'm not quite sure. But I looked on E.L.F website and I couldn't find them. I even went onto Amazon because E.L.F obviously have a section there, and they weren't there either. So the very first one I got was at Lychee, I remember. And this is watermelon, and then the very first one I got was Lychee. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So we've got kind of the brighter one here, watermelon, and then you've got your accompanying highlight here, and this is a deeper one. I think I'm going to go for the lighter one today. But what I'm going to do is double that up, because I'm going to go back in with my Putty blush, which is a little bit brighter, but I want that, and we're going to then double that up with the powder. So let's, oh, again, this isn't I think this is £5, and I know you look at the size and you say £5, but a little goes a very, very long way, a very long way. I'm going to go in with a blender brush, because I can see, just a buffing brush, some of this just needs to be blended slightly. So yes, so you think £5, but actually, and you know, you look at the size, but a little, and you will see that today goes a very, very long way. So I'm just going to warm that up. That's what it looks like, and bringing that up as well. And I'm going to go in with my blush brush. I'm going to just dry it off a bit, and then we're just going to, you can see it just gives that glisten. It's not overboard, but then if you want to just set that with a powder, I really like that. It just complements everything, and again, it looks hydrating and it's not drying. And so what I'm going to do now is just go in with that watermelon. And they don't do them anymore, and I don't know why. If it's just the UK website, I have no idea, but I haven't been able to find them. Just wanted a couple of more versions, different variations of colours for my kit and things. Went in the other day, I couldn't find it, so again, I'll keep an eye on that, but it's not, let me know guys if it's back, but this was yesterday, and I couldn't find it. So this is watermelon, and we're just going to swatch that so you can see what it looks like. And I'm going to go in again with my cheeks brush, and we're just going to take some of that and follow where our blush was, just, and you can see it doesn't take over, but it's like it's setting it really. So this is the watermelon. Now sometimes on Amazon sellers do sell it, so you could have a look there, but I couldn't find it. And the quads, I wanted to get the sugar, is the sugar and spice kind of 4 quad, I wanted to get that, I couldn't find that, so let's go. So yeah, I feel like that's perfect, and it has kind of set, similar to how you set your kind of powder and things like that. When you do creamed powder, it does kind of set and last longer. So we're going to go in with a palette that I've done a review on, and I will put it below. I absolutely love this palette, guys. I can't even explain. Let me just get myself sorted here. So what I'm going to do first, while we talk about the palette, I'm going to go in with my pigment base. This is from Revolution, and it's in white, and it's just a eyeshadow primer. So I'm going to put some of it, it's white, so it comes out white. I prefer the white one because you can kind of see what you're doing. And while we talk about and show the eyeshadow palette, this can be kind of getting sticky and where it goes. So, and it really pops any color you do, whether that's light or dark or bright colors. I'm going to be going for a light smoky eye today, so although that looks overdone, it's just the brightness of the color. So it's not that there's too much there, it's just it's really white. But I like that because you can see where things are going, and it warms up on the skin quite quickly. So I'm just going to do the other side, and then we're going to have a look at the palette. Now I do have it's Revolution Pro Reloaded, and it's just gorgeous. So let me just get this right. Okay, so that's kind of doing its thing. So while that's doing its thing, we're going to just pop the lid back on. And I just want to show you this palette. So it's the MAXI Reloaded palette. Got a lot on me there. A lot comes out, guys. Such a lot comes out, and it's with the least amount of pressure. So just be careful with that. Okay, so let's go in, and this is it. Sorry, guys. So this is what it looks like here. This is the Makeup Revolution MAXI Reloaded. I do have a review on it. Absolutely gorgeous. It's not, what I like about this is it's not overloaded with shimmers. And the shimmers that you do have absolutely complement the mattes. Sometimes you'll get a palette, beautiful colours, but none of them actually make sense in terms of putting them together, or there might just be too many shimmers, and you just want, you know, you don't want to have two palettes, you just want to have one, and I would highly recommend this, guys. So I will pop this down below and link it. So that's the MAXI Reloaded palette. 45 colours in there, guys, so you definitely have a lot to choose from. So I think my eyes should be just about ready. We are going to go in now. I'm just going to close up some of the foundation here, the hydrating foundation. Okay, another one I wanted just to show you. So SheGlam is amazing. So everybody knows about Shein. If you don't know about Shein, it's a website that do clothes, homeware, everything, but they have SheGlam section, which is all their makeup. And when I realized the quads in E.L.F weren't really available, I wanted to show you guys something that's still kind of along those lines. And this is the SheGlam Stay Glam for Real, and they have 4 colors, 2 shimmers, 2 mattes. You can get different variations of colors. I've used this before. It's really, really nice. And this is Cosmic Crystal Charm School. So I'll just open that, and they're beautiful. I like the packaging too, so that's what that looks like there. You can get so many, and so that would be something that you could kind of look at if you were looking at the similar things to E.L.F. I think Wet n Wild do them too, but this, you know, SheGlam are really, really good value for money. I think this was like £3. So I'm going to start just with the top color here. And I'm going to go in with, I'm going to start with this color here, and it's coming off a little bit darker, but it's going to be like the base color, the crease. I'm going to swatch it for you. They're so soft, and they do wear a long, long time, and that's what that looks like there. But on the eye, it comes out really, really nice. So I'm just going to use my, and this is my, actually, this is just a non-branded one, but it looked very much like the Phoenix Cat Eye one I have, but we're going to use this. Let me just check, because I know I have it somewhere. It's the 5116, and the brand has come off. Sorry, guys. So they look very similar. One is 5117, 5116. They look very similar. This one looks a little bit more kind of forgiving in terms of how wide the bristles are, so we might use that one. So I'm just going to go in with that color I showed you, and we're just going to start here. This is going to be kind of the separation color. And I like to kind of warm it up on the skin with the brush. that's what that looks like. You can see it's just barely there. You can see the kind of transition from both. What I'm going to do is go in with that clean brush that I showed you, the 5116, and we're just going to clean that up so there's no harsh lines. So I just kind of cleaned it up there, guys, and I went in again after that with a kind of an orange, a deep medium orange here just on the lid, just to kind of warm it up a bit so it wasn't so pale. And now I'm going to go into the inner corners, and we're going to keep that nice and light because we don't want to look too tired. So I am going to go in, and I'm just choosing this with you guys now. Nothing's kind of been pre-planned. And we're going to go in, and I'm going to go in with this one here. And we're going to do a swatch, so that's what that looks like. In the inner corner, before we go in with a deeper colour, that's what that looks like there. I'm actually going to use my finger and just swipe, so you can see there, just swipe that along really gently. And then that kind of naturally blends, and you can see it just widens the eyes, makes you look wide awake, fresh. It goes with kind of the look where nothing is overtaking something else. So I'm going to go back in and do the other side. Brighter colours on the inner corner, whether there's dark on the outside, just widens that kind of eye, makes you look really fresh, makes your eyes pop. So that's what we've done in that one. And I will link the price to this. It's just so good. It's an all year round one, really. And if you're starting off even in bridal, anything like that, this is perfect. You guys just have a look at those colours. I don't even think the camera's doing it justice. So I'm going to then go in with my deepest colour that we're going to use before the mascara. And that is going to be this one here. And I use this, and then I'm going to use this. So we're kind of sticking with the warm brown oranges. And I'm going to go in with my new brushes here. And we're going to go with this new brush, and this was a non-branded one, but they're really beautiful. They wash really well, and I just thought, why not share it with people who might be able to save some money but also get really pretty brushes too. So we're going to go in here. It's like a deep neutral warm brown, and I'm just gonna dab that across. We're gonna go in here in a V shape. You can see, pull that across gently. We're going to use then our fluffer brush here, and I'm just going to blend that before it gets too set and bring that over. And it will warm up eventually. It does warm up on the skin. What I'll do is I'll do the other eye and then come back. So I've just set both the eyes now, put that deep orange on both, kind of cleared up the harsh lines, just so it kind of gives you that kind of awake look. You've got that daytime smoky eye, but you could certainly kind of rev that up for nighttime. I'll just show you the colours again before we do the eyes. The lashes, so that's what they look like. You've got so many kind of options there, so you wouldn't have to do what I did today. If there was a different colour you wanted to choose from, you could. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the inner corner again, and I'm just going to go with the I'm just going to go in a little bit kind of with more of a hint of glitter. So we're going to go in with this one here. Now it might come off a little bit stronger on camera, so it's this one right here. And I'm just going to take some on my brush into the inner corners just to give it that kind of glow. And they pick up on the brush really, really well. That's what I like about these colours. So this is Makeup Revolutions Reloaded. I will link it below, but you've got so many options. You really, really do. So okay, so that is kind of the look I'm happy with today, daytime look. You can see I'm just going to curl my lashes now. So I'm going to use my mirror. I always look down for this. We're going to go in with the lipstick as well. I've got some lip liners on the way from Wet n Wild too, because I want to kind of give them credit. I think they're really, really good. I think they're certainly, I think they're definitely becoming more, people are more aware of them. But this Tinted Hydrator, I'm very, very happy with. If there was anything today, the Tinted Hydrator. We'll see over time how the Wet n Wild Luminous Primer actually works, if it makes a difference. I was surprised it didn't really show on the skin itself, particularly because it looks like a foundation. Nothing came out, it was quite clear. A little bit of a harsh line there. But yes, so let's just do our lashes quickly, curl them. Lashes. Yes, so I'm happy with that hydrating. Okay, let's do that one. This is the E.L.F. It's £10 and it's on their E.L.F. website. It's also on Amazon for $8.99. So Amazon lately seems to be better for E.L.F. products from what I've gotten today, rather than the E.L.F. website. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my, this is the Collections Mile High, and this is their Soaring Length and Volume. So we're going to go in with that quickly. So what I'll do is I'll do my mascara and I'll come back. Okay guys, so eyes are done, did a little bit on the lower lash line too. And a little trick I'll give you, if you run out of eyeliner, bring your mascara right to the tip of your lower lash line and it just opens your eyes. So if you run out of eyeliner, I mean, bring your mascara really, really gently right to the tip of the bottom line. Sorry, I just looked at it and I had a little bit of a mistake there, and it kind of just opens the eyes a bit. So actually, the only thing that's new to me is the number 7 High Shine, and I'm actually going to use it as a liner today, and then I'm going to go over it with my E.L.F. This is the monochronic multi-stick, but I want to use this as a liner, so we're just going to go in quickly, and this is like a crayon, and I'll just do a swatch. There, very light, but it's kind of like I want to use it as a liner today. Now I've worn it before and it is kind of very moisturizing, but I do find that with crayon that they're obviously a little bit different. So you can see it doesn't give like a huge change, but it's definitely lovely as a base. I think as a base. You could wear it, put some gloss over it. I'm going to use it as a base today. It feels really good on the skin too. Okay, so we're going to go in with our monochrome, and mine is in Petulant Berries Rose. So that's what that looks like. There's not really a smell to it either. Be really careful though, because obviously it's kind of how it is. You can obviously, what I sometimes do is use my finger, because obviously putting that on, it could go everywhere, just given the size, and that's what it looks like. And I'm just going over. So you can see it's just giving that extra kind of, hasn't made it really, really kind of strong, but it's just giving it that extra glisten. And what I'm going to do now, so what I did is I focused on the inner corners, and then when you rub your lips together, it will go where it's supposed to go, because this is quite big. Don't go straight into the outer lines because it's just going to mess it up. But what I would do is go into the inner corners and then rub your lips together, and then it kind of gives what you need. So yes, so that's that, and they're both so moisturizing as well. Obviously take them with you throughout the day, because I don't think they'll last in terms of this type of lipstick. This might last, the one I've just put on as a base, but this is really, really good. You can obviously use it on your cheeks too. So yes, so this is the look, guys. Again, do take a look at my video before if you have gone through this whole video and not seen where I've been. It's really, really informative. It kind of shows where I am in my life at the minute, where I'm going, where I'm hoping to go. All of this again today, I specifically wanted to do everything under £10. The only thing that may have increased is the eyeshadow palette, but I will take a look at that. Again, I would certainly just recommend it, guys. It's just beautiful. I know it's big and it's chunky and probably travel friendly. It's not, but just gorgeous. Really, really nice colors. And I've had it for about 8 months now, I think, a little bit longer. And just look at those colors, guys. you've got your really deep browns there too, so you could certainly go deeper if you wanted to, or if you like the colors but you would want to do something else, there's certainly ones you could do there, so definitely recommend that. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate all my subscribers. I am back, I am ready to go. There's going to be a lot of other kind of vlog styles too, because I am in a different place. It's certainly different, huge change to my life, so there will be a lot of kind of chat and vlogs in the car and things like that. So yes, thank you for looking at this, guys. I really appreciate your time when you do look at it. Thank you for all my subscribers too, and I'll see you very soon.